Hello everyone. I'm Madhan. The topic is permit to work system. What is permit to work? Why use a permit? Types of work permit. And validity of work permit. What is work permit? A permit to work system or work permit is a formal, verbal or written authority to operate a planned work procedure. It is designed to provide protection for employees who are working in hazardous situations. It ensures that management systems are followed in a way that makes sure that the job is done safely. Why use permit? When working in an industrial setting, there are risks that you can't avoid. A PTW system is an essential component of any business. Control of work system and is designed to manage and mitigate the risks that employees face on a daily basis. These risks can be sparks from welding practices, working in confined spaces, loose valve fittings, and more in these settings. There is no way to eliminate these risks, but there are ways to control them and keep employees safe. For example, imagine being trapped or suffocating in a confined space operating machinery without anyone knowing. You're actually there or without adequate training or practice. Reasons why you need an PTW. Reduce administration costs with easy data entry and reporting. Increase accountability with rigorous approval process. Gain traceability with digital sign-offs and proper authentication technology. Reduce time taken for the submission and approval process. Get real-time visibility on PTW application on multiple sites. Facilitate coordination on complex projects where multiple teams need to operate in the same areas. Enforce consistent standards across multiple sites and different types of work activities. Drive HSE performance with analytics. Keep records safely in the cloud. Easily access and retrieve PTW records in case of an audit. More safety and accountability. Safety permits ensure that employees are well equipped with proper pay equipment, trained in adequate safe work practice and instructed on specific threats and exposures before they begin their duties. With a work permit, employees and contractors are authorized to complete a given task. Therefore, liability and responsibility for any incident or near miss after receiving a written permit rests solely with the company. Types of work permit: hot work permit, cold work permit, confined space work permit, excavation work permit, work at height permit, electrical isolation permit, chemical work permit. Hot work permit. Hot work can be defined as any activity that produces sparks, flame, or radiant heat. Common hot work activities: gas cutting, arc welding, grinding, hot riveting. Any activity using open flames. Before any of these activities are undertaken in the workplace, a hot work permit should be drawn up, singed, and authorized. Cold work permit. Any types of activity in the workplace that does not involve a source of ignition or generate heat but is nonetheless hazardous can be defined as cold work. For example, insulation and painting, erection and removal of scaffolding, removing and fitting of valves, blanks, and blinds. And operating machinery, etc. Confined space permit. A confined space is a space with limited entry and egress and not suitable for human inhabitants. An example is the interior of a storage tank, occasionally entered by maintenance workers but not intended for human occupancy. Hazards in a confined space often include harmful dust or gases, asphyxiation, submersion in liquids. Example: storage tank, vessels, silos, tanks, pits, manholes, tunnels, ductwork, pipeline, etc. Excavation work permit. Excavation work is defined as the removal of earth, rock or other material in connection with construction or demolition works. using tools, machinery or explosives to form an open face, hole or cavity. Excavation work includes any earthwork, trenching, cofferdam, caisson, well, shaft, tunnel or underground working. Work at height permit. Working at height is the performance of any type of work at an elevated position, where the worker is at risk of falling and getting injured as a result of insufficient or non-existing safety precautions. An example: roof work and activities on fragile surface. Work with the use of ladders. Activities near an excavation or trench. Work that involves scaffolding. Jobs that require being on scissor lifts and other similar mobile elevated work platforms. Electrical isolation permit. Electrical equipment and exposure to any type of voltage is dangerous. Proper electrical isolation procedures prevent electrical workers from coming into contact with the source of a potentially catastrophic electrical hazards. Disconnecting or preventing dangerous contact through lockouts and tag-outs makes equipment safe to work and keeps the surrounding areas safe too. Chemical work permit. Authorization to work with harmful chemical substances or in a chemically induced atmosphere that is either toxic or corrosive by nature. Chemical engineers that mostly work in chemical plants and labs. Validity of work permit. A permit to work cannot be valid for more than 12 hours or for more than the normal work shift, whichever is the least time. If the work must continue for a period longer than 12 hours or longer than the normal work shift, the permit to work must be closed and a new permit to work must be prepared. A permit to work is valid only for the work that is described on the permit to work. No one can issue a permit to work to himself.